Over the next couple of videos, we're going to talk to you about working with prefabs. Now, as mentioned in an earlier video, just kind of covering the terminology of Unity, a prefab is a group of game objects and various other assets that you can utilize in other places in your scenes.
Right. A good thing or a good way to think of prefabs is it's a set of game objects that have been put together into a unit that we're going to keep together as a whole and use in various parts of the scene.
Right, and there's all kinds of ways you could apply this. I mean, here's just a random example. You've got a 3D model of a street light that has a light game object already set up on it with just all the right settings. It's got its cookie and everything like that, so that if you wanted to have a lot of these street lights in your game, you could take that group of objects, turn them into a prefab, call it street light, and drop it down as many times as you like.
Right. The advantage of doing something like this is the fact that, let's say we've shown you how to duplicate an object, and you've created your street light, you've got the cone light on it, you got its cookie, you got its settings just the way you like it, and you go, well, what do I need a prefab for? I can just hit Control D, duplicate it, move it to wherever I go, and let's say you align your street with 50 of these. But then all of a sudden your supervisor comes in, you know what, I need these lights to be a little bit dimmer. Mm-hmm. So at that point, now you're required to go into each one of these lights and dial the intensity of your light down a bit to meet the request of your supervisor. Whereas if you were using a prefab, you could create that light a single time, set it up just the way you like, turn it into a prefab, and then instantiate this prefab 50 times. That way when your supervisor comes back, goes, you know, we need to adjust the lighting on it. You go, no problem. You go in, you adjust the lighting on one of your prefabs, you apply it to the prefab, and all the instances of that prefab update with the new lighting information.
And as long as that description was, that's a really simple example of prefabs. Prefabs can get a lot more complicated than that. In fact, in a future upcoming video from 3D Buzz, which might already exist depending on when you're watching this, we're going to show you how to make a third-person controller.
Right. This video series basically shows you how to make a third-person camera system, a fully animated character that you can walk around, orbit the camera around just like you would in a game like a Tomb Raider style game or any of the other familiar third-person games you may have played.
Platformers.
Right. But the whole point of this project is to show you how to do this with all of its scripts. And what we've done is, after everything's done, we've turned this into a prefab, which is then exported it as a package that you can import into your own game. And by simply dragging in a copy of this prefab into your scene, you get all the functionality of this character with a single drag and drop.
That's right. Now, over the next couple of videos, again, we're going to show you how you can create these prefabs on your own. We're going to talk about instantiating these prefabs and some of the special behaviors inherent with instantiating these prefabs, the linking that takes place between the project and the hierarchy view. So that's everything I wanted to introduce here. Let's go ahead and get started taking a look at prefabs.